He has learned in gaining it. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us. At this time of year, when spiritual wealth is in the air and material wealth is under our Christmas trees, a Dallas man has found both. A 6-year-long search has helped him find a multi-million-dollar fortune. But in the process, he says he has discovered what being rich is all about. Channel 8's Byron Harris has the story.
In the living room, there's a scrawny Christmas tree without much underneath. 7 children sit nearby with their mother and father. Sam Gross says he's a wealthy man, and he's about to be. He's on the edge of gaining a fortune worth millions of dollars that began with his mother's death 26 years ago. Annie Lee Gross died in 1970 and left him the proceeds of her pension fund. But he suspected he never got all of the cash, and he began assembling a paper trail 6 years ago. He began to believe an account originally bearing his mother's name and Social Security number at Texas Instruments, where she worked, was changed. Somehow, Annie Gross became Annie Green, and the Internal Revenue Service confirmed it, saying somebody had paid millions of dollars of tax on the account.
And they looked and they went, the girl over the phone, I said, well, what do you see? She said, I don't see anything on the Gross, but I sure see something on the Green.
Sam Gross began a tedious battle in probate court, aided most recently by attorney Anthony Randall and a former reporter turned PR man, Preston Kirk.
The more that I learned about it, I actually became angry when Sam was not angry.
I was spending so many hours in the lawyer's library.
He worked at a fried chicken restaurant at night, did research during the day, spent $50,000 of his own money. Then from New York last week, brokerage firm Dean Witter finally confirmed that a multi-million-dollar account under the name of Annie Green with Sam's mother's ID numbers did exist. The exact amount is still uncertain, but the fortune could be worth more than $100 million. But as he sits in his sparsely furnished home with his family, Sam Gross says his quest has taught him about more than money.
It had helped me see what life is all about, helped me see the importance, what it really takes to win, character, integrity. And people put a lot of emphasis on money and those tangible things, but I think what's really counts and what I've learned is the intangible things that what really makes you successful.
Byron Harris, Channel 8 News.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Although Mr. Gross now knows his fortune exists, he anticipates spending a great deal of time in court with the help of the Securities and Exchange Commission in order to gain control of it. And a story of survival and support tonight. It's been 6 weeks since Robert Henley was allegedly attacked.
Something his mother earned. She had a Texas Instruments pension and stock before her death in 1970. Fox 4's Sean Rabb looks at the staggering amount of money that stock is worth now and what could have prevented this entire red tape nightmare.
Now, when did you learn about the money? How old were you then?
I was 29.
Now, Sam Gross is 45. For 16 years, he's been trying to get money his mother had from stock she purchased in Texas Instruments when she worked. Sam was 9 when his mom died without a will. That was in 1970. His mom's estate held up in probate court.
Since it was in probate, they could have set up a guardianship trust, and the money would have been paid in there until I got 18.
That didn't happen, and before Sam turned 21, confusion, including the name on the account being changed and an outside administrator being assigned to the account who died. He's been trying to get it straight for 16 years.
I had to show certification of her death certificate, I had to show certification of my birth certificate, I had to show all the legal documents, and even a copy of my letters of administrations to say, okay, boom, okay, I need for you to correct the name.
Easier said, it seems, than done. And now the money Sam Gross seems close to getting stands at...
Oh, anywhere from 1.2 billion to more than that now.
Through the years from 1970 to present, those would have multiplied and perhaps would be at that 1 billion mark. That's just amazing.
Probate attorney Glenda Brewer says this case is extraordinary, but could have been avoided with a will.
It certainly seems like a series of unfortunate events, for sure. Perhaps if she just had a simple will, just a will that said, whatever property I do own at my passing, I would like to go to this person or that person.
Gross is now on the last leg of his journey, and any day now he expects the court to release his money. He says he's not bitter.
You know, people ask me, well, wow, man, you should have went postal and all that. So no, you know, I just keep plugging away, keep gathering my facts, and staying positive.
So 16 years later now, again, it appears he's close to the end. The cash value of that stock, he believes, around $1.2 billion. Attorney Brewer says all of this could have been avoided with a living will or a trust. She recommends everybody do something like that. We'll keep you posted on the progress of Sam Gross. In the newsroom, Sean Rabb, Fox 4 News.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
The endings. In fact, if you individually count the dollars involved, it's a complicated story as well, however, about a woman who died without a will, but with assets that grew more and more valuable all through the many years her family and the courts puzzled over what to do with those assets. Well, now a decision has been made, and the man you're about to meet, Sam Gross, is soon to become this country's 314th billionaire. We spoke earlier. Sam, this is just an incredible story. Your mom died in 1970 when you were 9 years old. Didn't have a will. You didn't find out until you were 29 that she had stocks from her former employer, Texas Instruments. How did you finally find out about the stocks?
Well, I went back to the old neighborhood where I was raised, and when I asked one of the ladies who was considered like a godmother to my mom, and after she recognized who I was, she hadn't seen me since I was 9. She said, next thing she said, "Did you ever get the money in trust?" Yeah, I said, "No, what money?" And that's how I found out.
So the problem really was that your mom didn't have a will and that your name wasn't on any documents. So that's why the probate took over and it took so long to get out of probate. Is that basically correct?
Yes, but I was informed that there were certain documents that, like a guardianship trust that was never set up. I did find documents showed that I was the heir, but I don't think they had ever received an affidavit of heirship.
And I know you're waiting for a judge to sign the final papers this week. Does it seem real? I mean, that you are on the verge of getting more than $1 billion?
Well, I guess it's the reality of it. I may not fully understand until it happens. I know the reality of it and the long fight and the struggles that I've had to endure. It's going to make a difference in my life.
Yeah, I would hope $1 billion would make some sort of a difference in your life. If it doesn't, you're living pretty high right now, I got to tell you. Is there anything you want to do with that money? I mean, is there anything you want to, instantly buy or think about buying? Or how is it going to change your life?
Well, first of all, it gives me a peace of mind to know that I can basically make a difference in other people's lives, maybe give back to the community, creating a charitable trust, making a difference in other people's lives. And I'm also looking into trying to create something that will keep this from happening to any other American citizen.
You have 3 children. You're about to come into a lot of money. Do you have a will of your own?
Well, I have what you call, that I'm setting up like a Nevada Corporation trust, stuff like that I've prepared.
That's something a billionaire does. I don't even know what any of that means. I'm not sure what, it sounds good though.
Well, I've made provisions. Right, I've made provisions to protect my heirs and my interests in certain adventures. And to keep this from happening to my heirs is what happened to me.
Well, I just find you're the calmest about to be a billionaire I've ever heard from, and it's great to hear that, of the things you want to do, you're really basically talking about helping out other people and making sure this doesn't happen to other people. So good luck to you. I hope you get the money, and I hope it doesn't change you, and I hope you do a lot of good with it. Thanks so much.
And thank you, sir.
Amazing story. From one sort of windfall to another now, how would you like to have someone show up at your door one day, checkbook in hand, to offer you a handsome monthly sum for the right to dig a hole or 3, well, maybe a dozen or 3, on